Hi, folks, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason Pritchard. I'm your host for today's show, and we are going to conclude our video series, Weather Resources. So, this is going to be the second video in that series, and we're going to get into some of my favorite weather sites that are a little less official than last time. Last time we looked at National Weather Service sites and all of the official products that they put out. Today, we're going to take a look at some more ancillary sites, radar, observational data, and even some model sites. So when you're on social media and you see all of these maps posted that people are going into these sites and getting these things, I'm going to show you where they are and where you can get them for free. Now, this is not going to be an exhaustive list. Of course, there are many different websites you can go to find data. And I'm going to show you a few that I think are important, that are easy to access and easy to use. So with that in mind, let's get started. Actually, before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for future videos, and share the channel with your friends and family on social media so that we can grow the community. And also leave a comment in the comment section. Why don't you tell me your favorite weather resources? If you don't see them here, tell the community your favorites, and maybe we can expand the sites and the data that we look at. That's always good to learn and grow. So we'll go about it that way. Now, we're going to start today with the GOES satellite image viewer page. This is a National Weather Service page, so I would say this is we'll put this in the official bucket. Anyways, when you come to this page, you see a big blank map. So how to use this page? Pretty simple. You can see on the left-hand side, you've got GOES West. That's the coverage area for GOES West, and GOES East. So this is the satellite that covers the East, and there's its coverage area. I live in the East, so I like to use GOES East unless I'm looking at California information or something up in the Northwest. I can switch over and look at the Western satellite. So I'm going to go to the top of the page and click here, GOES East full disk, and I get a variety of products, and it tells you under these thumbnails what this particular product is. So you can get IR, you can get lightning, RGB. If you're hungry for more, you can get the sandwich RGB. So we're going to start with IR and take a quick look and see what that looks like. So if we click on this, we'll get a pop-up of the satellite, and I can actually hover over this page and drag my cursor around, and you can see that it zooms in for me. So I can see all kinds of detail, lots of clouds where I'm at in North Carolina, all the way up basically the eastern half of the country, with the exception of parts of Georgia, Florida, South Carolina. Everybody else is socked in under a heavy layer of clouds and actually some precipitation too. And if I go out of this, I can actually animate any of these loops too. So I can come right over here and click, I can download images, I can select larger images, I can click animation, and I can actually see this, the actual, where the daylight boundary comes up, and you can see the animation of the satellite image. Now I'm going to go back here to this one. Now this has lightning on it, so you can actually see where the lightning is. We could put this into motion and see the lightning detector light up as we go forward, but I'm not going to do that. Just know that there's tons and tons of satellite products that you can use. Anything from visible, so we can come down here and look at the visible image, hover over that, put that into motion if we want to. We can look at water vapor. There are various water vapor images, low level, mid level, high level. So these are some of the things that you see a lot when we're looking at storm systems moving in, or we're detecting dry air entrainment around hurricanes. This is very useful for that. So high level moisture up here, plenty of moisture to create these thunderstorms and the rain that's affecting parts of the Mid-Atlantic. So good page for satellite data. More that you could go into here. I'll let you play around with that. Another page that I kind of like, this is kind of old school, and I like it just for that reason. This is a National Radar Mosaic. It's always good to use products that filter out Virga. This is not one of those, so if you're ever waiting for the snow to fall, you can actually pull up this radar and actually see more snow that's falling upstairs than is actually falling downstairs. So this is a good way to sort of beef up those snowfall images, so to speak. But it gives you a good idea of where the main areas of precipitation are around the country. But what I really like here is when you come in and go to WonderMap, this will show you all kinds of different current observations. So I'm here in Western North Carolina. It's about 49 degrees where I'm at here in Morganton. on my home weather station. So this is accurate, and it tells you what time these observations are. You can zoom in, you can scroll out just by changing or operating the wheel on your mouse, and see you get less observations when you come out. You can see temperature and wind. You can see just the temperature. You can see dew point and humidity. So that's all useful stuff. Precipitation. So any places that are reporting precipitation, how much they've reported. We can take a look at the radar. That's what's going on here. We've got a little mixed precipitation up here. We've got some thunderstorms over here, just about ready to move into Virginia. So lots and lots of good data that you can see here. Storm tracks, we could put storm tracks on if we're looking at severe thunderstorm situations, things like that. We can even put our wind streams on here. I like to do that sometimes and just kind of look at, see how the wind is feeding in. So good information here that we can find just from this Wonder Map page. So the other site, I'm going to skip ahead here and go to windy.com. I love this site. So this windy.com tells you a lot of information. You can see observational data as well, but you really get to see how the wind is flowing, and that's, I guess, the point of the site. But you've got tons and tons of information that you can actually see. And if I take our picture here and let's do this, let's move it over this way a little bit. You can actually see some of these panels on the right, and you can kind of toggle through these and see different types of data. But I like, so that first and foremost, you can see the wind data and the wind stream lines, and we can scroll in here and see what's going on. We can kind of come into different areas of the map, really see all of that data. We can look at wind gusts as well. So we can change that over and see, how things are gusting. Obviously, our little scale, we can click on it and it'll tell us 34 knots. So we can see all of this data down here. A knot, by the way, is 1.15 miles per hour. So you can do that conversion if you want to. Pressure, we can see where areas of high pressure and low pressure are. Click and see what the pressure is here. And so all kinds of good information. Again, we can look at radar data. We put this into motion. We can overlay it with satellite. See city heat maps. If I want to look at a specific city somewhere in the world, I can click on Spain, for example, and see the heat map here for that. So Windy gives you a ton of information. You can play around with this to your heart's content, but you won't get tired of scrolling around the site. So a lot of fun there. I'm going to bring this video back over here and go to weather models. So weather models, a lot of good information on Tropical Tidbits. So Tropical Tidbits is one of my favorite places to go to see weather information for the European model, the GFS model, Canadian model, ICON, all kinds of short-range NAM products, RGEM, the HER model, all of that stuff is located here. And you can easily access any of those by going to global. If you want to see a global model like the European or the Canadian or the ICON or anything like that, we'll click on the European model. And you can just run it through its parameter. You can change the timestamp over here that you're, the run that's initialized. I'm going to use the 0Z run, and we can then come to the slider and go move it forward. And look up in New England. Check this out. So we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winter storms up in New England over the course of the next 2 weeks. It's a great pattern for New England. If you're in New England, have fun. So you can see the surface map data. If you want to look upstairs, you can actually go over here and go to upper dynamics. And let's say we want to take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly. We can go there. We can look at it. We can come down here and change our region. Let's say we want to see the entire northern hemisphere. And look here what happens at the end of the period. European comes in here with big blocking over the pole, recognizing MGO phase 8. And we've got a semblance of a trough over the eastern half of the country with a little ridging here along the south. So a lot of weather data here. You can look at ensemble data if you want to see the EPS and what it's showing. We can go to the 0Z run and slide this forward. Again, blocking, kind of troughing over the northern half of the country. Probably got an active Pacific jet stream, which is keeping ridging beat down, which is why we're not seeing a massive cold air outbreak. So in any event, you can look at all of that data here. Another website that you can go to is the PSU EWOL. This is an old school website, and I'm going to tell you what, you can see a lot of data, but it's just sort of set up in an old-fashioned looking way. I used to use this way back in the late, I guess it was early 2000s when I used to look at this all the time. And you can click one of these like GFS and kind of hover over the little timestamps here, and you get multi-panels of various data, and you can see all of this simultaneously. So this is useful if you're looking at multiple panels at the same time. So good data on EWOL. Pivotal is another popular site today. It's free. There's a pay-per-view version too that has more extensive data in it. But if you come down here and go to models, it brings up a United States map. You've got your times that you can kind of click on and see the different maps change as you click on that specific forecast time. If you want to change the model, just click on GFS, come down here to European. If you want to change the coverage area that you're looking at, go to continental US. You want to make it a regional thing. You want to look at the Southeast, let's say. So you can click here on regional, come down here to the United States, find one of these regions, let's say the Mid-South. And here you go. And there you have it. So you can come down here and play around with the parameters. If you want to look at temperature, if you want to look at dew point, if you want to look at total precipitation, you can kind of see that. So it's going to be a rainy period over the next 10 days across parts of Tennessee, Kentucky. Look, 5 inches according to the European model. Now, we'll talk about operational models versus ensemble data another time, because using an operational run to justify or predict a precipitation amount 10 days out is usually unwise. So we'll tackle that another time. But in any event, Pivotal Weather, great site. So I guess with that, I think that's going to wrap us up for today. There are lots of free resources that you can go to. Don't forget to put your favorite in the comments section, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.